Hello all my dear students in 4th primary. I am sure that while coming to school, واحنا رايحين السكول, we see different types of transportation. Like what? Like cars, buses, the metro. All these types of transportation make it easy for us, بتسهل قوي to move from one place to another. Did you know that the mathematics are basically related to the modes of transportation? تعرفين ان الماث مرتبط جدا بالtransportation. Why? That's because engineering, manufacturing, any mode of transportation, المهندسين لما بيجوا يعملوا transportation بيستخدموا mathematical operations. ليه؟ عشان يحسبوا dimensions ويحسبوا weight بتاعهم power of these modes. In theme 1 of this year's mathematics, ants were our main contacts. في theme 1 الants هي كانت main contacts بتاعتنا. In theme 2 transportation will be our main context. So, Omar and Maryam are very interested in collecting data. عمر ومريم بيقعدوا يجمعوا data about the modes of transportation they see. And they are comparing وبيقارنوا كمان the speed of these modes. سرعة المودز دي numbers of people who travel on them. Theme 2 includes 4 units. Theme 2 هنلاقي فيه 4 units from unit 5 to 8. 5, 6, 7 and 8. Unit 5 consists of 2 concepts. The first concept, we will learn how to compare values using multiplication, how to write equations with unknown values, and how to solve equations using multiplication. طيب تعالوا نشوف in concept 2. Concept 2 we will focusing هنركز قوي على multiplication properties like commutative property وكمان associative property. Also, we will learn كمان هنتعلم patterns of multiplying by 10 multiplying by 100 وكمان multiplying by 1000. At the beginning of the unit, we will watch a video about different modes of transportation like buses, planes, and trains. Let's watch it.
Multiplication moments. Ever wondered how far in meters you have walked in a day? How many steps have you walked today? Is it 100 steps? 1,000 steps? It's more likely to be 10,000 steps by the end of the day. That's a lot of steps. How far will 10,000 steps take you? A bus can hold around 50 people at a time. If the bus was full each time it passed, and it passed twice an hour, how many people have passed by me? The bus runs 20 times a day. How many people now? There are big numbers everywhere. The carriages on this train can hold 100 people. There are 8, 9, 10, 11 carriages. Over 1,000 people have just passed by me. That is awesome. The largest passenger planes can carry over 500 people at once. Airports are one of the busiest places. Millions of passengers a year use them. I wonder, how many big planes must fly into the airport to reach a target of 1 million passengers? Lots of everyday opportunities to create some big numbers.
And now, as you have watched in the video, airplanes can carry more people than a bus on each flight. And the train can carry more than 1,000 passengers at a time. As I said before, people working in manufacturing modes of transportation بيستخدموا mathematics and different mathematical operations in their work. Let's now start with lesson 1 in unit 5. هنبدأ دلوقتي lesson 1 في unit 5. Understanding multiplicative comparison. In this lesson, we will learn how هنتعلم بقى النهاردة how to compare numbers using multiplication and how to create models. إزاي نعمل models to show multiplicative comparisons. As we are talking about transportation, have you ever thought about why the seat belt, ليه seat belt is very important? We will discuss هنناقش بقى this in Access page 195. Let's see it all together. Here, as you see, there is a seat belt in a car. الحزام اللي احنا بنربطه في العربية بتاعتنا. The belt is 90 centimeter long. This is 90 centimeter long. طيب, this length represents how safe it is to ride in a car with a seat belt. This belt is divided into parts. And if this belt, لو قسمت البلت دي لparts, each one of you will have a part that is 3 centimeter long. This is 3 centimeter long. How many parts will it take to equal the seat belt? محتاجة parts قد إيه عشان أكون السيت بيلت ده كله؟ طيب, if we glue 5 of these parts, لو حطينا 5 parts جنب بعضهم كل واحد فيهم 3 centimeter to form one piece, عشان أعمل one piece, how many pieces محتاجة قد إيه pieces عشان أعمل السيت بيلت بنفس اللينث؟ I will give you time to think and estimate the number of parts. Also, you need to think about how we can calculate the actual number of parts that equals the length of the seat belt. Now please don't feel worried. ما حدش يقلق خالص if you can't answer these questions. لو حد ما عرفش يجاوب الquestions دي ما تقلقوش. We will explain in our lesson and get back to this example at the end of our lesson. Now in unit 1, if you remember, we learned اتعلمنا ازاي to compare numbers using the place value. Let's see this. طيب, here for example, if we want to compare between 2645 and 3645, تعالوا نكتبهم كده, 2645 and 3645. I want to compare between these two numbers. طيب, we would say that 2645 is less than or smaller than 3645. Why? Because both of them consist of 4 digits. مش النمبر ده 4 digits وكمان النمبر ده 4 digits. Yes. And the first digit to the left في second number اللي هو 3 is bigger than the first digit here اللي هو 2. So, in today's lesson, we will learn to compare numbers using what? Using multiplication. And now I know that some of you ممكن حد فيكم يقول لي that he thought about something like that. فكر في حاجة زي كده. When we were trying to find out the number of strips we need to put together to equal عشان أكون البيلت سيت بتاعي. Let's go step by step. Now we will use something called a tape diagram. هنستخدم حاجة اسمها tape diagram عشان نعمل إيه؟ To compare numbers using multiplication. This will help us understand the relationship. هنعرف العلاقة between the numbers. Let me explain this for you. Now, let's draw the model. Here I have model. Like you see here, the model I have drawn here is for a tape. هو ده التيب اللي أنا هشرح عليه. It consists of 2 equal rectangles. زي ما احنا شايفين كده, I have 2 equal rectangles. Each rectangle I will write 5. يعني 5 here وكمان 5 here. So 5 is written 2 times. The sum of the two 5. يعني 5 و 5 هيدوني كام؟ Yes, 10. Sum of 5 is 10. So I can say that 10 is 2 times greater than 5. 10 2 times greater than 5. So let's write 10 is 2 times greater 2 times greater than 5. Okay, now we will move to the hands-on activity in Build, page 196. Let's see it. Here's page 196 as you see. In this activity we will use the tape diagram. هنستخدم التيب diagram اللي أنا لسه مورياه لكم in visualizing multiplicative comparison with diagrams. We will solve the problems the same way بنفس الطريقة بالظبط اللي احنا عملناها مع بعض. In the first problem we need to compare 10 and 2. This is the first problem. أنا عايزة أعمل compare ما بين 10 و 2. Here we need to compare 10 and 2. which means we need to know how many 2's are in 10. يعني عايز أعرف ال 10 دي فيها كام 2. Let's draw the tab diagram all together. يبقى here I will solve number 1. أهو عندي ال tab diagram as you see here. أنا عايز أعرف ال 10 فيها كام 2. تعالوا نشوف. 2 plus 2 4 plus 2 6 plus 8 plus 2 8 plus 2 10. يبقى ال 10 فيها كام 2؟ Let's see. I will divide this into 5 sections, right? يبقى 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 gives me 10. This means what? This means إن 10 have 5 2's. 10 عندها 5 2's. So how many times is 10 greater than 2? هي 10 أكبر من 2 بقد إيه؟ 10 is 5 times greater than 2. 10 is 5 times greater than 2. In the same way, let's solve problem number 2. Problem number 2. Here I want to compare between 12 و 3. عايزة أقارن بقى ما بين 12 و 3. Which means we need to know how many 3's في ال 12. أنا عايزة أعرف ال 12 دي فيها كام 3. We can explain this using the tab diagram as follows. تعالوا بقى number 2 هنرسم ال tab diagram بتاعنا. نرسم tab diagram. طب أنا عايزة أعرف إيه؟ عايزة أعرف ال 12 دي فيها كام 3. تعالوا كده نشوف. 3 plus 3 6 plus 3 9 plus 3 12 right؟ يبقى I will divide it into just 4. يبقى I will divide it into 4 like this. يبقى احنا عرفنا ال 12 فيها كام 3؟ Yes, 4 3's. So 12 is 4 times greater than 3. 12 4 times greater than 3. Let's move to problem number 3. Problem number 3 أنا عايزة أعمل compare between 18 و 6. عايزة أعرف ال 18 دي فيها كام 6. Which means we need to know how many 6 في ال 18. تعالوا برضو نعمل draw the tab diagram بتاعنا. أهو this is number 3. هرسم ال tab diagram بتاعي عشان أعرف ال 18 فيها كام 6. تعالوا نشوف كده. 6 plus 6 12 plus 6 18. يبقى I have 3 6 in 18. That means in 18 has 3 6's. يبقى 18 is 3 times greater than 6. 18 3 times greater than 6. Now there is another way we can use to compare numbers. في طريقة تانية بقى عشان نعمل compare between the numbers. We can use the multiplication facts we study in primary 3. I will explain this through an example. Now we need to compare 24 و 6. عايزة أقارن بقى ما بين 24 و 6. We know that 24 equals what? Yes, أنا عارفة إن 24 equals 6 times 4, right? So we can say that what? 24 4 times greater than 6. ال 24 دي تعالوا نكتبها هنا. 24 is 4 times greater than 6. Okay. In each time we need to compare two numbers. كل ما احتاج اعمل compare between two numbers, we will look for the multiplication fact about these two numbers. هشوف ال multiplication fact بتوع ال two numbers دول. And it will be easy for me to complete the comparison. Now we will apply. تعالوا بقى نطبق what we know about multiplication facts to solve the problem under multiplicative comparison with numbers on page 197 in your school book. Let's see it. Here's page 197 as you see. Comparison with numbers on this page. I will give you time to answer these problems and we will review the answers when we are finished. And now, let's review your answers all together. In problem number 1, as you see here, here's problem number 1. He wants me to compare 15 and 3. عايزة أقارن ما بين 15 and 3. We can say that 15 is 5 times greater than 3. ليه بقول كده؟ Because 15 equals what? Yes, 3 times 5. That's why 15 5 times greater than 3. Okay, now let's move to problem number 2. In problem number 2, we will compare between 28 to 7. عايزة دلوقتي أعمل compare ما بين 28 to 7. We know that هي 28 equals 7 times what? Yes, 28 equals 7 times 4. طب ده معناه إيه؟ Yes, ده معناه إن 28 is 4 times greater than 7. And now, let's move to problem number 3. Problem number 3, I want to compare between 27 and 9. طيب أنا عارفة دلوقتي إن 27 equals 9 times what? 9 times 3. That means in 27 is 3 times greater than 9. Now we have finished our problems here. We will move now to connect on page 197. This is connect. This is the connect part. I want you to think about the questions there and write how multiplicative comparisons help us ازاي بتساعدنا to understand how much safer it is to wear a seat belt and how we can use multiplicative comparisons to help us understand and describe the world around us. And now this will take us back to the start of our lesson. لما كنت بقول لكم why it is very important to fasten the seat belt while driving. Here we had, like you see, the seat belt 90 centimeters long. And I asked you to think about two things. سألتكم تفكروا في حاجتين. First, if each one of you has a part that is 3 centimeter long. How many parts محتاجة parts قد إيه عشان أعمل equal للسيت بيلت ده. This means we need to know how many 90 times what أو 90 greater than 3 بقد إيه. Or what number we need to multiply 3 to get 90. يعني هعمل 3 times what عشان يديني 90. We all know that 3 times 3 ب 9, right? مش احنا عارفين إن 3 times 3 equals 9? Yes. So 3 times 30 equals 90. يبقى 3 times 30 equals 90. يبقى دلوقتي we need how many parts? We need 30 parts as 90 is 30 times greater than 3. يبقى 90 is 30 times greater than 3. أنا دلوقتي محتاجة how many parts? 30 parts. Okay. Now, second, if we give 5 of the parts that one يعني كل واحد فيهم 3 meters long. عندي 5 parts كل part فيهم طوله 3 centimeters. طيب how many pieces يبقى أنا محتاجة pieces قد إيه to take equal to the seat belt عشان أعمل equal للseat belt. First we need to determine how long is each piece. Of course ال 5 parts equal ل 15 centimeter. ليه؟ لأن 5 times 3 ب 15. هو مش 5 times 3 gives me 15. Okay, so let's write this together and see how many times 90 is greater than 15. أنا عايز أعرف دلوقتي ال 90 أكبر من ال 15 بقد إيه؟ طيب what should I do؟ هعمل إيه؟ Yes, 90 is 6 times greater than 15. ليه؟ عشان أنا لو عملت 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15 6 times equals what? Equals 90. That means in 90 is 6 times greater than 15. So 90 equals what? 15 times 6. يبقى 90 equals 15 times 6. Okay. So we need 6 pieces to form the seat belt. Okay, يبقى أنا محتاجة دلوقتي 6 pieces to form the seat belt. Okay, thus we have learned to compare numbers using multiplication and how this is very important to understand number relationships. Let's now move to the practice part on page 198 and answer the following problems. Let's do it. Here I will start to solve the practice part. Let's solve it all together. Let's solve problem number 1. Here is problem number 1. As you see, in problem number 1 and 2, we need to rewrite the equations we have using multiplication. In problem 1, we have 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. We will compare 18 and 6. أنا عايزة أعمل compare ما بين 6 وال 18. What should I do? So we can say that 18 is how many times 6? Yes, 18 is 3 times 6. Why? Because 18 is 3 times greater than 6. 18 is 3 times greater than 6. طب ليه بقول 18 3 times greater than 6? Because 18 equals 6 plus 6 plus 6. أنا عملت 6 3 times. Let's move to problem number 2. Problem number 2, we have 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 14. أنا دلوقتي عايزة أعمل compare ما بين 14 و 2. So عايزة أعمل comparing ما بين 14 و 2. So I will say what? Yes, we can say that 14 is 7 times greater than 2. عشان لو عديت 2 دي هلاقيها I repeated 7 times. يبقى 14 is 7 times greater than 2. Okay, let's move to problems 3, 4, and 5. In 3 and 4 and 5, we will add the numbers in the tab diagram first. Then we will compare the number in the sum and the numbers in the diagram. تعالوا نشوف هنعمل الكلام ده ازاي. Here in problem number 3, we will add 5 4 times. مش أنا عندي هنا 5 و5 و5 و5, I will add 5 4 times. Gives me what? Yes, 5 and 5 10 plus 5 15 plus 5 20. يبقى 20 is how many times greater than 5? Yes, 20 is 4 times. مش أنا عدت 5 4 times, يبقى 20 is 4 times greater than 5. Okay, ممكن أقول إن 20 equals 4 times 5. That's why is 4 times greater than 5. Let's move to problem number 4. In problem number 4, here we will add 8 3 times. أهو 8 plus 8 plus 8. 8 plus 8 plus 8 gives me what? Yes, equals 24. طيب دلوقتي 24 how many times greater than 8? Yes, 3 times greater than 8. Why? Because 8 times 3 equals 24. And now let's move to problem number 5. Here in problem number 5, I will add 4 4 times. يعني 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals what? Yes, of course, is 16. طيب 16 is how many times greater than 4? مش احنا عارفين ان 4 times 4 gives me 16? That's why 16 is 4 times greater than 4. And now, thus, we have finished or used our knowledge of the multiplication facts we studied in primary 3. And now, I hope you understand this practice very well. Okay? Okay, now we can go back to our learning targets, الهدف بتاعنا, and see if we have achieved them or not. Our learning targets, الهدف كان today to understand multiplicative comparison and model multiplicative comparison problems using the tab diagram. You can scan the code here on the screen to have access to more practice problems if you need to check your understanding of our lesson today. If you would like to explore more information about types of transportation, you can search ممكن ندور for the fastest modes of transportation in the world and how these are similar or different to the mode you use. See you next lesson and thank you so much.